Welcome back to Democracy Catastrophe. This channel's dedication to what would be the last, might be remnants of the United States as we know it today, and maybe or could be the destruction of the United States Constitution as we know it today. The thing about power, pure power corrupts. Now, to get along in Washington, sometimes you have to play the long game. The Republicans have been playing the long game for such a long time. The media is also kind of in cahoots or in bed with the Republican Party. That being said, regardless of what goes on in the news cycle today, I can say it's just plain pure rubbish. A British term for garbage, bullshit, and nonsense. So why is today, I'm thinking about Thanksgiving. For starters, from a business point of view, this is they shot at the third quarter, halfway through the season, because in most times, in most companies, June 1st or I believe July 1st, one of those 2 months is the beginning of a new fiscal year for many people, for many corporations. That's sort of like a general stereotypical starting point in their business model. So when the push is starting to come to have a great second quarter, because I know things are going to end up tapering off, because what's going to end up happening, a lot of sales are just going to end up sliding in the third quarter, with a fourth quarter decline in sales. And what usually happens comes the 1st of January. They got all the previous year's back inventory off the books. And what does is kind of artificially balloons profits in the short run, possibly masking any losses or any decrease in revenues during the first 2 quarters of a brand new year. Everybody thinks the new and improved, whatever it is going to be the biggest product on the market. I want to have you. But then there's the copycats, and everybody tries to follow line and tries to follow that business model. And a lot of times when you think about it, what does this have to do with Thanksgiving? What does this have to do with Thanksgiving? Inventory. Because usually in a business cycle, in America, we kind of assign December 24th, December 25th as Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It's sort of like an arbitrary day. So we figure, well, we'll make it a Jesus holiday. And anything, if anybody ever reads the Bible or pays attention pays attention to scriptures, he was born in the springtime, uh, right before the Passover. But that's neither here nor there. It's just sort of like goods and services are so backed up. They're willing to cut prices from 50 to 70% off of all inventory that they have for this ludicrous holiday we call Christmas. So it's sort of like a starting point for the beginning of the ending of the rush to end second quarter on a high note come January 1st, which appeared to be like the third quarter. And in between those days, what happens is what's not gotten off the books and not gotten off the books in the inventory ends up carrying over to the third quarter. And usually the stuff is sort of like written off as a loss, or it ends up getting retailed down to clearance prices. So what this does is sort of like it boosts the new inventory into the next quarter. Once all that stuff is written off, then you have a clear picture of what the current fiscal year is going to be like going forward up until June 30th or June 31st. Once that's done, July comes around, bam. In July, starts off for the first quarter with a whole brand new inventory. And between July, August, September, October, that's when you kind of judge by whether or not those products move from point A to point B into the consumer's hands. So, and that cycle goes because if there's like a huge amount of inventory and there's not much demand, what happens is they have to make a decision of whether or not to lay off workers because of the fact that their product might be oversaturated in the market and nobody's going to be buying that in that time period. So in other words, it's one biggest vicious cycle. What has that have to do with Thanksgiving? Well, if you made it this far, just be thankful that you have a job, a place to live, and food to eat. Because honestly, a lot of people are not paying not paying attention to my channel because of the fact they got better things to do, which is fine and dandy. But if you want to push something, you got to be willing to be dedicated to that product, whatever it is, in order to achieve that self-fulfillment, that void a lot of people like to talk about. And sort of like they kind of equate Jesus to somebody having it all. And it's a house of cards. Jesus is the real deal, and there's nothing you can change about who he is. But when you pray, and it's not the prayers that you want answered during that day, he's possibly answering even more prayers they've been saying, which is not related to whatever that issue was. So, and I realized this was going to be real tough thinking about what I'm about to say. Because I always picture myself with a girl and not have the girl talk to me, but a man really talking to me about um, when I'm silent like this, that means I'm tired. And I'm going to end up babbling. And there's just other ways to so. Thanksgiving is kind of a touchy subject for me, mainly because I've had a lot of misguided adventures when it comes to um, festivities. So, so I just know how CEOs can sleep at night. I really don't. Yes, have fun this week. Hopefully, you guys get something out of it. Oh, true. To the bear person. So, that this is going to go on. But I have to be honest with you. So, I'm starting to fall asleep. And that's not good for this channel. But what I'm going to do is when I start to fall asleep, I'm going to get right to the point. Then we'll fall asleep for a few seconds. Get up. Be residing to I guess my talents could be used elsewhere. So I was thinking. So I'm ready to go to bed. I'm just dozing and dozing and dozing. But I have to be honest with you, I had a good year this year. Some of my own bags I created for myself. Went back in the test. I'm starting to take care of them. So what am I thankful for? Strong family. You know, our family in the United States is going to feel a huge, dramatic squash in their nuts. You can always plan, be prepared for what's yet to come. So, but none of my jabberish stuff. But yeah, I figured let's cover the topic of Thanksgiving because there's also so much I am very thankful for, and talking to you, the audience, is sort of like neat. Whatever audience I do have out there. So that's all I got to do for tonight. Bye bye.